Many times I see that entrepreneurs work very hard and make a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they don't get to keep any of it or hardly anything. It's a very, very common problem. So I wanted to explain what is the best way to make sure you get to keep your money. The secret to keeping your money, your hard-earned money, is to pay yourself first. A lot of people are familiar with this concept, and on the other hand, a lot of people are not. So what does it mean? Pay yourself first, meaning that before, typically the situation is you work really hard and you finally get paid something, right? Hopefully a lot of money, and you put it in the bank, and by the next time you get paid, you look in your bank account and there's nothing there, or maybe it's in the negative. Does this sound familiar? It is familiar for a lot of people. So what's going on? Well, when you have money in the bank, then you start paying everybody. You pay the government, taxes. You pay your landlord, rent, or the bank for your mortgage. You pay grocery store for your groceries, and different variety of shops for your shopping, right? You pay tuition for your children, you pay, for food for your dog or cat, and that way everybody gets paid before you do, and when it comes turn to you, there's nothing left for you. So pay yourself first concept means you flip that and you pay yourself before you pay anybody else. Everybody else has to go after you. You're in the front of the line, everybody else after you, right? So probably the government is next right after you, but you should not be at the very end of the line. So how do you make sure that you pay yourself first? How do we do that? Well, it's very simple actually, and it's based on the book called Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. I already spoke about it before and I speak about it all the time, but just bear with me. The basic concept is this. You take your monthly income, right? Let's say for sake of example and simplicity of and ease of calculation, it's $5,000. And then you list all your hard expenses. And by expenses, I don't mean your business expenses, I mean your personal expenses. So we take your personal income and your personal expenses. So for example, we list $1,000 for rent or mortgage, right? We list $1,000 for groceries or utilities. And let's say we also add $1,000 for other shopping, other various needs or other costs that are sort of inevitable, the stuff that we have to pay every single month. So include things like your utilities, obviously your taxes. Do not include things like movie theater tickets or eating out or stuff like that. Just basic needs that you absolutely have to have and your family has to have, right? You can, so let's say you calculated it's about $3,000 total. So then you can take, let's say, another $1,000. So under the ideal circumstances, out of $5,000 you're bringing in, you're supposed to have $2,000, right? But somehow that $2,000 magically disappears every month. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that $2,000 that you're supposed to have, and you're supposed to have as your kind of pay to yourself, and we're gonna take 1,000 of it, for example, some portion of it, and we allocate it for miscellaneous expenses like going shopping or travel, whatever makes you happy, right? We will say, okay, we'll spend that usual frivolous things that we normally spend. We're gonna give it some money, right? We're not gonna completely not spend money on that. But the other $1,000 that's remaining, we're going to save. So I hope that's clear. We just take all of our income, and then we take list all of our mandatory expenses, and then we deduct expenses from the income, and then the remainder we just allocate a little bit of it or some of it for fun, and then the remainder of the remainder is our pay. This is what we're going to pay ourselves. The second critical step to this process is we're going to take that pay to ourselves and we're going to pay it automatically. So it again comes from the same book, Automatic Millionaire. We're going to set up auto deductions into a savings account. So we'll set up personal savings account, And every month, as soon as we get paid, let's say we got paid on the 1st, before any other bills hit us, we're gonna deduct on, let's say, 3rd or 4th, we're going to auto deduct $1,000 into the savings. And then as soon as it goes in there, we forget it's there, right? It's there, don't even think about it. The other $4,000 is what you have to spend that month on all the necessities plus fun, right? So don't think about the other $1,000. You paid yourself first. Good job, great for you, and great for your future. If you keep doing it that way, then obviously after 1 year, you'll have $12,000. That's, average American, they say, does not have enough money to cover $500 emergency, which is very sad. And you will not be that average American. You will have $12,000, right? And if you don't have $1,000 to put away and pay yourself every month, put away whatever you can, right? You can put away as little as $50 a month, or $20 a month. Whatever you can, just start somewhere. And if you're one of the fortunate people who earns a lot of money, then put away more. Put a lot of it away so you can get much faster so you can get to your financial independence and security much faster than everybody else.